amazing artists, and welcome back to your paper birdhouses project. Last week we were able to turn our weaving into a symmetrical pentagon. That was a shape that has 5 sides, and if you drew an imaginary line down the center, you would see it's symmetrical, which means the left side is the same as the right side. Now today's very exciting because we get to draw the birds for our birdhouse, which I am super excited about. They turned out super cute, so I can't wait to see yours because I know they're going to be amazing and super awesome, just like you guys are. And since we're just drawing today, the materials are pretty simple. You're just going to need some paper, a black marker, or a Sharpie will work. And if you don't have a black marker, then you can use a black crayon. You have the option to use a pencil. In the video, I draw with marker first, but if you want, you can draw with pencil first and then go over your lines with a black marker. And something to color with. Could be anything. I use crayons in the video, but you could use colored pencils, you could use markers, whatever you have at home. Alright, I'm super excited to draw these birds with you, but before we get started, let's go ahead and say our class mantra all together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. My mantra: I am positive, I am creative, I am mindful, I am amazing, I am an artist. Alright, I think we're ready. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I have my drawing paper ready, and of course I still have my birdhouse. We will not be using it this week, but we need to make sure we don't lose it because we definitely are going to be using it next week. Alright, this week is all about drawing the bird for our birdhouse. Alright, so this is going to be a draw along with me video. So pause the video now and go ahead and grab your piece of paper and your black marker or Sharpie if you're using that. You can also draw with pencil first if you want to, and then go over your pencil lines with a black marker. We just want our lines and our shapes to really stand out, so that's why I'm going to be using a Sharpie. If you do make a mistake with your marker, then just keep going or turn it into something else, no big deal. Before I start drawing, I do actually want to put my name on my paper, okay? So definitely, especially if you're in my face-to-face classes, go ahead, put your name and your class code on your paper and flip it over. Alright, so now our name is on the back. Now I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to start drawing. So the idea behind this is that we have a couple of birds in a bird's nest, because normally that's what a birdhouse is for. It's a place where birds can build their nest and sleep and lay eggs. It's kind of like a home for the birds, okay? So we're going to draw the birds who live in this birdhouse. And the first step is we're going to draw a semicircle. That is half of a circle. I'm going to draw it near the bottom of my paper because this is going to be the shape for our bird's nest, and we're going to put our birds up here. So make sure you leave enough room up at the top, and I'm just going to draw a horizontal line going across and connecting it with a big curve or a bowl shape. Alright, now I have my semicircle, and when birds are building their nest, they usually look for things in nature like pine needles, leaves, sometimes they'll even put flowers in their nest. Whatever they can find outside is what they build their nest out of. So we're going to add some texture to our bird's nest, and the way we're going to do that is by drawing long, skinny rectangles. So I'm going to start on the left side of my semicircle here near the top. And I am just going to draw a diagonal line going across, and I even went off of my semicircle a little bit, and a line down and all the way across. So it's one long skinny rectangle going across my bird's nest. Then under that one, I'm going to flip sides. I'm going to do it on the right side this time, and I'm actually going to overlap those 2 rectangles. That means I'm drawing it right on top of the last rectangle that I drew. Now I went over here the last time, so now I'm going to start on the left side this time, drawing long skinny rectangles overlapping each other. This gives a really cool effect to our bird's nest because normally when birds are building their nest, they kind of like swirl all their things together. I don't know if you've ever seen a real bird's nest, but they look really cool and they have a lot of beautiful texture in it. So that is what we're trying to create with this. So all the way down, I'm just switching my sides. each time, and I'm doing it kind of at a slant. That's called a diagonal line, all the way down towards the bottom of my bird's nest. I'm picturing these as like pine needles sticking out from the edges of my bird's nest. I want to draw some other rectangles up near the top so that there are some needles popping up off of the top as well. And those are just shorter, skinny rectangles. You can draw some more rectangles in the middle if you want to as well, to give it even more texture. All right, now that I have my bird's nest done, it is time to draw my birds. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to draw a couple more semicircles. So you could do one bird if you want to, but I want to do two birds because I feel like one bird might be a little bit lonely. So I'm going to draw two birds, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm starting over on the left side, and I'm just going to draw one upside down bowl shape like that, and then another one for my second bird. And we want to connect it into our bird's nest. We don't want it to look like our bird is falling out of the bird's nest. We want it to look like they're in there together. All right, so this is the bodies. Now we're going to draw the wings, and those are just two curves on either side of the bodies. So starting on the left side of this bird, I'm going to draw a curve coming down to meet the top of my bird's nest. Now I'm going to draw another one on the opposite side. So those are like the wings of our bird. I'm going to do the same over here, just a curve starting at the top, going down to the bottom. And if you want, you can add some texture lines in the wings here to make it look like kind of feathery. All right. So we have our bird's nest, we have the bodies of our bird. Now, of course, we need to draw their heads. And we are going to use circles for their heads. So not too big, not too small. And that was kind of big, but that's okay. It's still gonna look cute. Draw their heads using circles. Okay. And up at the top of their heads, we're gonna draw little feathers. And they're kind of like raindrop shapes. So it's just starting down towards the top of their head, coming up, a curve, and coming back down. You see how that's kind of like an upside down raindrop shape. And we're gonna draw two on their head, and you can make one a little bit bigger than the other. It almost looks like a heart. Do the same on the other side, two little loops on the top, and those are gonna be like their feathers on their heads. Okay. Now, of course, we need to draw some eyes, and we're going to use circles again for eyes. So I am going to go not up here on their forehead. I'm going to come down a little bit. I'm going to draw two circles for their eyes. And of course, I can't forget my other little birdie over here. Perfect. And for their eyes, there's a couple of things that you can do. And I am going to show you on the side over here. So for one eye, that's a circle. You can give it some highlights, make it look really bright, like there's light shining in the eyes. And by doing that, you're going to draw one circle near the top of the eye and a smaller circle near the bottom. And we're going to fill in the eye, but we're going to leave those circles white. So it looks like there is a light shining in their eye, just like this. Or you could do a circle with another circle inside of it and color that in. So it looks like their eyes are really big and wide open. Or you could just do a whole black circle. Totally up to you. All right. I think I want to do the light one where it looks like the light is catching in their eyes. So I'm going to draw a bigger circle at the top on the right side of their eye and a little circle towards the bottom. So bigger circle on top, like that. And it's actually not a circle, it's kind of more of an oval shape, isn't it? And then a little circle on the bottom. Then we're gonna fill it in black, but leaving that oval and that little circle white, so it looks like there's light shining on their eyes, like it's a bright sunny day outside. Alright, if your birds are girl birds or you want your birds to have eyelashes, you can go ahead and add those, and those are just two little curved lines on their eyes. Super cute. And they're missing something. What are they missing? We got the bird's nest, we got their bodies, we got their eyes, their little head feathers. What about their beak? Of course, they need a beak, right? So you can draw your beak one of two ways, and I'm going to show you down here. You could draw your beak like an upside down triangle, like that, or you could draw it like a sideways triangle, like that. For the sideways triangle, you're going to want to draw a line down the center so you can see the top beak and the bottom beak. Okay, so you can choose whichever beak you want to do. I think I'm just going to do the upside down triangle, just like this. Very good. And after you get done drawing your birds, the next step is we are going to color them. All right, and you can use whatever colors you want to. And I think I'm just going to use crayons to color mine, but you can of course use colored pencils, markers, whatever you have. While you're coloring your birds, you want to also think about how neat you're being. Okay, make sure you're coloring inside the lines. And also with crayons, if you don't press down very hard, you can get a lighter color. So if you want a light blue like I want, I'm just going to barely press my crayon down and just carefully color it in. We still want to take our time because we worked really hard on these drawings today. We don't want to accidentally mess it up somehow. However, if we do make a mistake, then it's okay. We're just going to keep on going, but we should still try our best and take our time. If you want it darker, then you can just press down a little bit, right? Remember, we learned that in our Faith Ringgold story quilts. If you're coloring with crayons, if you just press down a little harder, then it will be darker, but if you barely press down at all, it'll be lighter. So here is my final drawing, all colored and everything. I added these cute little blushing cheeks, and I just think they look absolutely adorable. All right, after you draw and color your birds, we need to just hold on to this and hold on to your birdhouse. We will need them next week. I can't wait to see how your cute little birdies turn out. I know they're going to be amazing because you guys are amazing. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.